Hello, world. This is Mama Ro coming to you from Chicago. Take a listen of how prophetess Juanita Bynum described how this pastor, Pastor John Moore, who she's supposed to preach for, came into her room while she was not there. She goes into description of what she thought might have happened. Take a listen.
With both of the bishops that stood over my life, and they also felt that it needed to be done. I think everybody knows me by now. I've been in ministry 47 years, and so I started preaching when I was 16. I preached my first revival at 16. My first message was at 12 years old. So I've been preaching full time a total of 47 years. And so I've dealt with a lot in ministry. I have. There's no way that you could be a woman in ministry, period, and not have to deal with things that probably most men don't have to deal with. And so I think all I can say is that only the strong survive. And so over the course of the years, I've had to make a lot of sacrifices and a lot of adjustments, and things haven't been, the way would have wanted them to be every time. But that's with anything. That's with a business. That's with ministry. That's with a church. That's with relationships. And so you learn how to eat the bad with the good, and you just keep going. However, as much as it pains me to have to do this, because I know that as private as I am, and people that know me, even though my name is very public, I don't thrive on allowing a lot of my private issues to be vented on Facebook. And anybody that have followed me on Facebook or Instagram, I'm just not one of those people that when things happen, I got to get on Facebook and throw subliminal curves and, say this and that and da-da-da-da-da. That's just not my style. However, when it is something that I feel and my bishops feel and my pastor feel like it's something that had severely threatened my integrity, then I have a responsibility to be upfront, and I have a responsibility to speak the truth. And so upon me coming to Virginia, from the very beginning, things were well, and everybody was going according to what was sent over to them in the agreement that was sent. And Elder Jimmy Vaughn is the person that handles my ministry engagements, and been a person also in ministry all his life, have seen it all and know how to be diplomatic and how to handle people and how to understand when somebody's having a rough patch, and he don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So it had to be somebody of that nature that understood how to work with people when they didn't get it all right. It's not a reason to just say, oh, I'm just going to cancel you because you didn't get this right. So from the offset of the last 2 weeks, it had been kind of rough up and down, to the point that the night before I came, which was Saturday night, I requested a phone call with the pastor and Elder Jimmy and my assistant, Juanita, who does my ear monitors, because there was a lot being said and done that was just not appropriate, and I found to be offensive, but I wanted to be fair and hear both sides. Well, when we all got on the phone, and I'm glad that I never do anything without a witness, when we all got on the phone, the pastor understood some of the things that he had done wrong, several things he had done wrong, and he apologized. He apologized for his posture. He apologized for things that he said that was inappropriate, and I was good. And so at You know, I don't split hairs over, you know, if it's not exactly the kind of car, because I don't require all of that. And I mean, people that hosted me can tell you that I'm probably one of the most low maintenance guests they have ever had. I don't charge up food on their hotel bills. If I want something to eat, because of the way that I eat, I send my staff out to get me food, and I pay for it. I don't use their phone at all, other than calling the operator for some hot water or something like that. I even send out to get my coffee. And if they bring me coffee, I pay for it. I don't charge ministries for food. Even though they say, Dr. Bynum, feel free to get you something, you know, on the hotel, I don't. I just don't. I don't know. That's just me. I don't use their phone. I don't want up their phone bill. I don't require a limousine. You know, as long as the car is clean, my preference is black. If they don't have it, I don't fall out and die. You know, everybody know I don't like white cars and white limousines, and everybody knows why. You know, that know me. You know, my sister passed away. We haven't gotten over it, and all the white limousines and all of that is a reminder. So I don't want to go out to preach and just be reminded when I get outside that there's a long white limousine and red flowers. That's a bit too much for me emotionally. And after all, I am human. You know, I have a human side to me. And so that would be really the only stipulation, and that the car be clean, and that the people that pick me up would pick me up and look presentable when they come and get me. And so that's about it, people. And so when a lot of those little things were not handled properly, I still said, okay, you know, all right already. You know, you just got to know when to pick your fights and get over it. So by the time I landed, I got on the, I was on the phone with the pastor Saturday night at 9:06. 9:06, I got off the phone and I headed to the airport. My flight left at 11:30 and I landed at 12:30. Got off the plane. The ride wasn't what we expected, but okay. You know, let's get to the hotel. I'm tired. It doesn't matter. You know, there was nobody there to greet me, to say, God bless you, welcome to, but who cares? Because I don't require all of that. You know, I know who I am. You don't have to blow me up and butter me up and you know, ooh, here she come, there she go. That ain't even who I am. The majority of the times I get around the city by myself. I don't require all the hoopla. My father said to me one day, you can taste success, but don't swallow it, or you would be full of yourself. And I've lived by that motto for more than 40 years. So that I don't, all of that. It's wonderful if you got somebody there to give you flowers or to say welcome to the city, or do you need anything? If not, okay, I didn't come for flowers. I came to do my job. And so I proceeded to the hotel, came to the hotel, and prior to me coming, I was informed by my secretary that something had taken place with my room. So I was like, well, okay, you know how you're moving and you don't really get the gist of it, because you like, all right, it's already been enough, and I'm focused, and I just got to preach, so let me just get to the hotel. And so I really didn't pay attention to a lot of the riffraff until I got to my hotel. When I got to my hotel, people, I walked in my room in the mini suite, which I would show a picture of the hallway when you open my front door. And when I walked into the room and turned the corner, of course, all of my things I laid out the way my secretary always laid them out. My assistants come in. They always come into hotel rooms before me. They pray before I come in. They cover furniture with white sheets. That's just me, because I don't like to contend with a lot of stuff and people sitting on furniture and having sex on furniture, and that's just the sensitivity that I have. So they cover the chairs or the couches with white sheets, and they pray in the room and prepare the room for me. And somewhere on the bureau, my God, this is so embarrassing, they would have on the bed I travel with a blanket that says, "Be still and know that I'm God." And they put that blanket on the bed, and my pajamas are laid out on the bed. And then on top of the bureau is all of my underwear, my panties, my stockings, my bra, whatever else I put on is laid out on the bureau for when I get ready to minister. Well, at that point, I was told that the pastor had entered my room without me being aware that he had been in my room. And so I said to my assistant, "What do you mean he's been in my room?" So when I turned around, I said, "You mean like been in my room and saw all of my underwear?" And she said, "Yes, ma'am." And I said, "Well, how do you know that?" She said, "Because the secretary called upstairs. What was her name? Marissa Brown was the manager on duty. Called upstairs, very rude to Juanita, and said, "Why do you have 2 rooms in your name?" And Juanita said, "I don't have 2 rooms in my name. I checked in with all of Dr. Bynum's credentials like I always do, which gives me permission to take her key and prepare her room." She said, when it's all of her stuff, her underwear and stuff laid out over everything like the pastor said it is. So Juanita said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "Well, just answer my question. Is all of her things laid out on the bed and on the bureau like he said it is?" And Juanita said, "Well, yes, it is. But that's all I want to know." And she hung up. Well, at this point, Juanita proceeded to find that very interesting. So she located the pastor. And she asked him, when she got downstairs, she asked the Marissa Brown lady, "Why would you give this pastor a key to her room?" And the lady said, "Because he paid for the room, he got a right to have a key to her room." And Juanita said, "We've traveled all over and I've never heard of that." And so the fact that I'm getting ready to go and stand in somebody's pulpit who've seen all of my underwear, I'm sorry, people, that I just felt naked, and I still do. And I just felt so violated. And what he said was, he came in my room to put something in my room. But then his assistants put juices and drinks at the front desk for Juanita to take to my room. And as a male, why would you come into my room? Why didn't you send your wife into my room? And his wife has profusely apologized to me. But people of God, there's some things that's just distasteful. Some things you just don't cross the lines for. I would not have ever known that he had a key to my room had this lady not been so rude to inform us that she knew all of my garments and spread it around my room. And so at that point, that was the end of the rope for me. I can tolerate a lot, but so no, it wasn't Juanita Bynum per se as to the reason why I didn't show up in that church tonight. It's like I'm standing up there preaching, knowing that you know what I have on underneath my dress. That I don't know. Maybe we living in this modern day world of Christendom. Maybe the millennials is on some other kind of drugs. But where I come from and the way I was raised, that's just too private. That's just too personal. And when Juanita confronted him respectfully, he said, "Well, I just wanted to put something in her room." And she said, "But that ain't how we do that. You know, you would have had to contact me to put something in her room." And I looked around my room, and there was nothing left in my room. There was no flowers left in my room. There was no fruit basket left in my room. So other than that, I guess I really don't understand the reason why you would have been in my room. And I just feel very, I don't know. Like I said, I can deal with a lot. I can, and I take a lot. I do. Excuse me. And I take a look, and I do. And I'm not one to, um, get on Facebook and rebuttal anything that anybody would want to say about me. Because in my own mind, I've survived CNN, NBC, ABC, BET, uh, the edition line, every magazine, every newspaper. I'm the girl for the job. I know that. I'm the woman for the job. I can take it. I really can. But that just felt like a personal violation to me. That somebody knows what kind of underwear I wear. That drew the line for me. And it took me down. And I'm sorry that I couldn't. I just couldn't walk in there. And when you open my door, which you will see the picture, a photograph in the caption, when you open my door, there's a long hallway, and my 2 black suitcases is at the end of the hallway. That right there is reason to just step back through the door and said, oh, but then you already knew I had checked in. But then you asked the manager for the key to my room. So you would have had to come down the hallway, turn the corner, and pass a bathroom and a kitchen station on the left and go into the bedroom part to be able to see that my clothes was laid out like that. That what I sleep in was on the bed. And I couldn't, people. And I'm sorry, and I wept for the people because I knew they came looking for a word, and I'm coming back. And God is going to open up other avenues and doors for me to come back to Virginia. But under these circumstances, I couldn't. And so when it is said, as if the pastor don't know why I wasn't in that building, that became like a double offense to me. And I could not lay in that bed one more second. I had to come down here and say to the people that came to hear me preach, and worldwide, that it's just time to tighten up the whole etiquette thing. It's too much. It's absolutely too much, and a lot of this lends to the commonality and the familiarity that we allow people, in this day that we living in, to have with each other. The levels of respect has gone completely out of the window, and all of that lend to, all of this half dressing and naked dressing and whatever, because then lines and walls are dropped and lines are crossed. Lines of female etiquette is crossed. Certain things men just don't do. You don't put your hands on a single woman to talk to her. Certain things you just don't do. And when those kind of things begin to happen, and we just say, okay, but I'm not going to let anybody brush this under the carpet as if, we tried everything with Juanita Bynum, and no, that's not the truth. And there's people that are probably going to be on this line that can testify when they hosted me. No, ma'am. And I don't argue about anything. If I go someplace and somebody got a problem with the money, I give you all of it. The minute I sense tension, like this is why you really had me to come preach for you, I say, God bless you, man of God. God bless you, woman of God. You can take it all. The minute I see a conference in trouble, if I go to preach for conferences, for years, I didn't just start doing that. If I go to preach for a conference and I can sense that they haven't met their budget, I don't take an honorarium. I give it all to them. So me having to sit here tonight is not even my style. But I had to do this. I had to do this. And we just need to get it together, people. You know, that's why you put female adjectives with females. That's why you let females greet females. That's why, if at all possible, if a male gonna pick you up, let the female handle you. Let a female come and bring something to the hotel. And then for the hotel lady, here at the Hyatt, a world-renowned hotel, the Hilton, to say, well, his name is on the room. So now you put me in another position, because now you've added a pastor's name to my name, that anybody will pull that up would make it look like me and the pastor got something going on. No, you don't do stuff like that. The Bible said, don't let your good be evil spoken of. The Bible said to shun the very appearance of evil, and that didn't look right. That didn't look right. For a man to be entering my room, that didn't look right. And I wasn't present. So I'm in my room now looking around like, okay, well, is a camera in here or something? Or is something, you know, well, what was the point? And I have every right to feel that way. And I feel bad, and I'm leaving Virginia heartbroken that I wasn't able to deliver the word that God gave me to deliver. But there'll be another time. And so to that I say this, and I'm not going to not deal with the Hilton on this either. Just because a person put a credit card up to pay for your room doesn't give them right to have access to your life and to your privacy and your personals, and to compromise your personal life behind your garments. That doesn't give anybody the right to do that. I don't care who pays for your room. And I had to do this tonight. And I know it's me. And I counted up the cost of all of what's going to be said and how people going to play the video. But I'm sorry, people. Sometimes you just got to do what's right. Sometimes you just got to do the right thing. And I know tonight this was the right thing. I was not at fault. That's not how that happened. And I wish his ministry all the best, and all of have no ill feelings at all. I mean, it is what it is, but it was wrong. It was wrong. There's no way. There's no way. You let a woman tell me on this page right now that you could have stood up there and preached knowing that you swinging in your robe and the person is looking at you and know what kind of underwear you got on. I'm sorry. You good. If you could, you good. Then maybe, I don't know. I don't know. But I love you all, and keep me in your prayers. To somebody, this may not seem like much, but for somebody who's been traveling for 47 years in ministry, this one stung me. It really did. It really did. God bless you, and have a good night.